On a bitter winter night, as snow whispered against the windows and the city streets shimmered under icy lamplight, the world outside felt cold, indifferent. Inside a small, warmly lit diner, the air was filled with the comforting aroma of fresh bread and simmering stew. The hum of conversation and the clinking of cutlery painted a picture of ordinary life, a place where people found respite from the biting wind. But on this night, something extraordinary was about to begin. James Whitaker, a black waiter and cook, stood behind the counter, wiping down tables with quiet diligence. His eyes, gentle and attentive, missed nothing. For years, James had been the heart of this diner. He greeted every customer with a kind smile, remembered their favorite orders, and always made time for a friendly word. But beneath his steady hands and warm laughter, James carried the weight of a hard life. He worked long hours, struggled with debts, and bore the quiet ache of dreams deferred. Yet kindness was his currency, and he spent it freely. The door creaked open, letting in a rush of frigid air. 2 children stepped inside, a boy and a girl, no older than 10 or 11. Their faces were red from the cold, eyes wide with uncertainty. Their clothes, mismatched and thin, told a story of neglect and hardship. They hovered just inside the entrance, shivering, clutching each other for warmth. James noticed them immediately. He paused, setting aside his cloth. The children hesitated, glancing around nervously, as if expecting to be turned away. James knelt to their height, offering a gentle smile. "Welcome in," he said softly. "You two look like you could use something warm." The boy nodded, his voice barely a whisper. We haven't eaten since yesterday." James's heart tightened. He beckoned them to a booth near the kitchen, away from the draft. He brought over steaming bowls of tomato soup, thick slices of fresh bread, and hot cocoa piled high with whipped cream. The children devoured the meal, their eyes filling with gratitude and relief. As they ate, James spoke gently, asking nothing of them but their names. The boy was Samuel, the girl, Lily. Their parents had died months before, leaving them to fend for themselves in a world that offered little comfort. They'd been wandering the streets, searching for shelter, hungry and afraid. James listened, his eyes shining with empathy. He told them stories, simple, hopeful tales to make them smile. He let them stay until closing, wrapping them in blankets and giving them a place to sleep in the diner's small back room. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring for these children. He only knew that tonight they would be safe. The next morning, James made calls to local shelters, ensuring Samuel and Lily had a stable place to go. He sent them off with bags of food and new coats, hugging them tightly as they left. "You're always welcome here," he told them. "Never forget that kindness finds its way home." The children disappeared into the city, and James returned to his routine. Life continued, each day much like the last, full of hard work, quiet struggles, and small acts of compassion. The memory of Samuel and Lily lingered in his heart, a reminder of the difference one moment of kindness could make. Years passed. The diner weathered storms, economic downturns, and the slow march of time. James aged, his hair silvering, his hands growing rougher, but his spirit undimmed. He became a fixture of the community, a man known for his generosity, his laughter, and his unwavering belief in the goodness of people. But beneath the surface, life was never easy. James's debts grew. The building needed repairs. There were nights when he wondered if he could keep the doors open another year. Still, he pressed on, buoyed by the gratitude of regulars and the quiet hope that kindness, somehow, always returned. Then, one morning, 22 years after that snowy night, James arrived at the diner before dawn. The city was just waking, the sky painted with the soft blush of sunrise. As he unlocked the door, he noticed something unusual parked outside. A sleek black Rolls-Royce gleamed in the early light, its polished chrome reflecting the world around it. James paused, puzzled. No one in the neighborhood drove such a car. He watched as 2 people stepped out, a man and a woman, elegant and confident. Their faces carried the wisdom of adulthood, but their eyes, bright and familiar, held a memory from long ago. The man approached, a gentle smile on his lips. "James Whitaker?" he asked. James nodded, uncertain. The woman stepped forward, her voice trembling with emotion. "You may not remember us. I'm Lily, and this is Samuel. 22 years ago you saved our lives." James stared, disbelief and wonder mingling in his gaze. The children he had fed, sheltered, and comforted all those years ago now stood before him, grown, successful, and radiant with gratitude. Tears welled in James's eyes. "I can't believe it," he whispered. "You're here." Samuel smiled. "We never forgot what you did for us. You gave us hope when we had none. You showed us that kindness can change everything." Lily nodded, her voice thick with emotion. "You were the reason we made it. You gave us a chance to dream. We wanted to thank you, not just with words, but with something that could change your life, the way you changed ours." They handed James the keys to the Rolls-Royce, a symbol of their journey, their success, and their gratitude. But their gift did not end there. Samuel reached into his coat and handed James a thick envelope. "We've paid off all your debts," he said. "You don't have to worry anymore." Lily added, "And we've donated $2 million to expand your diner. It'll become a community center, a place where kindness can live and grow just like you taught us." James was overwhelmed. The reality of their gifts, the magnitude of their gratitude, swept over him like a tide. He tried to speak, but only tears came. Tears of joy, disbelief, and pride. The news spread quickly. The diner, once humble and worn, was transformed. Construction crews arrived, building new rooms, kitchens, and spaces for children and families in need. The walls were painted with warm colors, the lights glowed brighter, and the laughter of the community rang out in every corner. The community center became a beacon, a place where people found food, shelter, and hope. James led it all, his kindness now multiplied, his legacy alive in every meal served, every story shared, every hand held in comfort. As the years passed, Samuel and Lily became regular visitors, helping James run programs for at-risk youth, organizing food drives, and mentoring those in need. The Rolls-Royce parked out front became a symbol, not of wealth, but of the power of gratitude, the way a single act of compassion can ripple through generations. James's story was shared far and wide. Journalists came, cameras flashed, and people listened, drawn to the simple, profound truth at its heart. Kindness, freely given, has the power to change lives in ways we can never predict. But for James, the greatest reward was not the car, the money, or the recognition. It was the knowledge that his small gesture had planted seeds of hope in 2 children, who grew to become pillars of their community. It was the feeling of connection, a web of compassion binding people together, each act sparking another, each kindness returning home. On quiet evenings, as the sun set behind the city skyline, James would sit in the community center's garden, watching families gather, children laugh, and neighbors share their stories. He'd remember that cold winter night, the frightened faces of Samuel and Lily, and the warmth that came from a simple bowl of soup. He'd reflect on the journey, the struggles, the uncertainties, and the moments when hope seemed distant, and he'd smile, knowing that every choice to be kind had shaped the world around him in ways he could never have imagined. The lesson of James's life echoed through the halls of the community center, in every grateful heart and lifted spirit. Kindness is never wasted. It finds its way through time, through adversity, and through the lives of those we touch. And sometimes, when we least expect it, that kindness returns, magnified, transformed, and carrying the power to change everything. Think about the choices you make, the words you speak, the moments when you could turn away, but choose instead to reach out. Every act of compassion plants a seed. Every gesture of empathy shapes a future you may never see. James Whitaker's story reminds us, you don't need wealth or status to make a difference. You need only a heart open to others, a willingness to give, and the courage to care when it matters most. The world can be cold, unforgiving, uncertain. But within each of us lies the ability to bring warmth, to light the way for those who struggle, and to create a legacy that endures beyond our years. As you listen to this story, reflect on your own journey. Who has shown you kindness? Whose life could you touch with a simple act of care? How might your small gesture echo through time, shaping futures you cannot even imagine? The Rolls-Royce in front of James's hotel is more than a car. It is a symbol, a testament to the enduring power of gratitude, the way compassion can cross decades, and the truth that kindness once given never truly disappears. In a world searching for hope, be the person who offers it. In a moment of need, be the hand that reaches out. In the face of hardship, be the voice that says, "You are not alone." Let James's story inspire you. Let it remind you that every choice matters, that even on the coldest night, in the smallest diner, a heart full of kindness can change the world. The ripple effect of compassion is real. It starts with a single act, a meal shared, a word of comfort, a moment of understanding. It grows, passing from person to person, crossing years and miles, returning in ways we cannot predict. And when it does, it brings with it the possibility of transformation, of hope restored, of lives rebuilt, of communities strengthened. So, as you go about your day, carry this story in your heart. Remember James Whitaker. Remember Samuel and Lily. Remember the Rolls-Royce, the community center, and the legacy born in a moment of kindness. Ask yourself, what kindness can I offer today? Whose life might I change with a gesture, a word, a meal? How can I be part of a story that endures, that inspires, that echoes through time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us about the acts of kindness that have touched your life, or the moments when you've been able to help others. Let's build a community of compassion, one story at a time. And never forget, the simplest act of kindness can be the beginning of something extraordinary. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired, stay compassionate, and let your kindness grow.